Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
150 days ago, I made some major changes in my life. And I made them not because anyone told me that I needed to make them, not because I was afraid if I didn't make them. I just was sitting at a table and decided I'm not going to drink alcohol anymore. I only drink Chardonnay, but I'm not going to drink Chardonnay anymore. And I'm not going to drink sugar. And we're going to see what happens. And today's program is a special event because it is 150 days of clarity. And I want to talk about this experience that I've had. And maybe you can glean some information from this that will help you. I think it's one thing when we are told to do something. So for example, maybe you go and get some test results, you go see your doctor and your doctor says, as a result of these test results, I'm going to ask you to do X or do Y. And it could be you've got to cut back on your sugar. Maybe it is you've got to get more exercise. Maybe you need to drink more water. There's so many different things that it could be. And you leave there now with a sense of fear. And the fear is if I don't do X, Y, or Z, there's going to be ramifications and I can no longer bury my head in the sand and pretend that this doesn't exist. That's not the situation that happened with me. I basically just started thinking to myself, why am I drinking Chardonnay and why am I eating chocolate? Why am I eating sugar? And part of this exploration was to see, could I stop? And if I did stop, what was my life going to look like afterwards? So I said to myself, okay, if I stop drinking Chardonnay and I stop eating sugar, I probably am going to lose a lot of weight. And what's a lot of weight? I probably am going to lose 10 or 15 pounds, which I'm not a big person. So that would be a significant amount of weight for me. And I probably will be in the best shape of my life. All of these boxes are going to be checked. And so I started on the journey. And today at 150 days, I'm going to reveal what the results are. And then I'm going to tell you where I'm going from here. So the expectation that I had was things are going to be so much different. And I've actually had this ongoing chat with my AI that I don't understand. I'm expecting this, and this as a result of my sacrifice, and I haven't seen it. And one of the examples that I'll give, because any of you out there who have health issues that you're dealing with, if you know anything about me, you know I have ulcerative colitis and I've had it for 35 years. And I really thought to myself, the best thing that can happen with this ulcerative colitis by giving up Chardonnay and giving up chocolate is I will be in remission. And what I mean by that is clinical remission. It's not the same thing when you say, oh, I feel great, because what I found out through the medical system is even though you feel great, that doesn't mean that you are great, that you are well. So I was very surprised to learn that after 150 days, my disease, which was a left-sided disease, is now on the right side. So the left side's totally healed, but now the right side has some inflammation. And I was surprised by that because I thought, well, if I removed Chardonnay and I removed chocolate, why would there be any inflammation in my intestines? And I really struggled with this, and I'm still struggling because I'm very much a person, do this, then get that. So if you do the right thing, then you'll be rewarded. But it turns out medically, that's not actually what happens. So it's not a linear, it's not a systematic, remove this, and then everything is going to be okay. So that was the first thing that was really surprising. The next thing, which is not surprising, is I haven't received any phone calls or emails asking me to be in the cover of any magazine, which could be AARP at this point or Seniors Weekly. But I haven't gotten even anyone coming up to me and saying, "Oh my gosh, I see a huge difference. What are you doing?" Now, I have had people say, "Your skin looks good," or "I love that outfit on you," but no one has actually said, "You look completely different than you did 150 days ago." So that's something else that I am reviewing and analyzing. So, what are some of the positives? I would say one major positive is that when I first started January 18th, I had what I would call a roll, a blob under my belly button. It was just blob. And I don't know where it came from. I remember I was driving to work out at Solid Core and I was at a traffic light and I kind of was like, I wonder what's good. I'm like, oh my God, it's me. It's my fat. It's like a roll. And then I had sort of like around those love handles a little in the back. And it was almost like they came out of nowhere. Like it wasn't there the day before. And then January 18th, it was there. So I said to myself, okay, this is not happening because I've always been a size 2 or size 4. And even when I was a size 2 or 4, if I look back at pictures, I'm 63 now, pictures when I was 50, I wasn't happy with how I looked then. Okay. So my entire life, I've always been, well, you could look better. You could be thinner. It's this endless monkey mind. So I decided, you know what? Chardonnay is empty calories. Chocolate's empty calories. And I know we can find people, if you ask enough people, somebody will tell you that it's okay to drink Chardonnay and somebody will tell you it's okay to eat chocolate. But I said to myself, these are 2 areas of calories because I already have been living a very healthy lifestyle. I can eliminate these. So then I thought to myself, what if I can't? What if I can't do it? What if I start to do it and I decide, you know what? I don't feel like doing it anymore. And what I mean by that is that I live alone. I run my businesses. I work out. I don't have to answer to anyone. So the question becomes, who am I doing this for? It's not like I'm trying to impress anyone. So I thought to myself, well, I'm very determined. I'm going to just look at it on a day by day basis. And if I decide to change my mind, then I'll change my mind. So shortly thereafter, maybe a week later, I was here in my home and I have a studio here for broadcasting, which is where I am now. And I was in the other room and I just heard this drip, 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 drip. And then the sound of water got heavier and heavier. And I came in here and there was water pouring out of the HVAC closet. And this space had been in a flood situation literally a year before. So I was sitting in the kitchen area. I came in and I looked at what was going on. I started getting pots and pans to put for the water to go into. And I realized that this was a much larger situation than what I had anticipated. So I made the phone calls for people to come out and the maintenance and the fire department came and the police came. I didn't call them, but they came. And I was sitting there and I had 3 bottles of Chardonnay in the refrigerator. They were unopened. And I had been on this sobriety and no sugar for 1 week. And I thought, you know what? I can't believe that my apartment is getting flooded for the second time. And the first time I actually had to move to a hotel and I was living in a hotel for 3 weeks with the worst ulcerative colitis attack that I've ever had. And it was kind of mind blowing. So I thought to myself, do I go to the refrigerator and get the Chardonnay? And by the way, you might say to yourselves, you might say, well, if you decided not to drink Chardonnay, why did you have it in your home? Because temptation exists, my friends. So it's great that you can live in an isolated world. And then when temptation presents itself, you break down. So I left the wine in the refrigerator. And I thought if there was ever a time I was going to have a glass of wine, it is now. So I sat there and I thought, no, my desire to continue on is stronger. So my why I was doing this was stronger than my immediate need for relief from the fact that my apartment was being flooded. And so what ended up happening was that was around 9:30. The police and the fire department, maintenance people were here till 2:30 in the morning. The recon people came out with those giant fans and they started sucking up the water. And so the fans were here for probably 2.5 weeks. And I never had a glass of wine and I never had any chocolate. So I thought, wow, if I can get through that, then I don't need it. So the days became more and more and more. And so as of today, at 150 days, here's what I would share with you. I personally do not see any major changes. Now, does my face look leaner? I would say yes. Can I see more cuts in my body than I did before? Maybe a little. Do I have more energy? It's hard to say because thank God I've always had a lot of energy. Am I sleeping better? I don't know because I've always been a good sleeper, knock on wood. So I would say the one thing that has come from this is there were times, typically on a weekend or a Monday morning, or if it was raining, I might feel a little sad. And I'd feel sad because I'm alone. But I love being alone, and I wouldn't necessarily change being alone just to be with someone. I absolutely wouldn't do that. But there were those times when I started feeling a little bad. And now I don't have that. Now I'm like this all the time. And it's a good feeling because I don't have high highs and low lows. I look at things for how they are. I assess what it is. So I would say that my mood has shifted. I think I also have a lot of focus and clarity, even though I already had a high level of focus. And I would say that there are times when I feel my skin is brighter, but I still get outbreaks for some unknown reason because I eat the same food every single day. And that's another thing I think that's really changed for me. Food used to be entertainment. It used to be something that you would do. You'd get together with people and or maybe you'd cook. And now it doesn't serve that purpose. It's really fuel. It's fuel to give my body what it is that it needs so that I can do what it is I need to do. And I would say on the other side of the spectrum, one of the things that I've also noticed is by not drinking or eating sugar, it's also isolating in some ways because I found that socially, people who are drinking or are eating sugar or really not managing their diet have not been that interested in getting together because it puts a spotlight on them. At least that's what one person told me. Then they start evaluating what it is that they're doing or not doing, and they don't want to actually deal with it. Which brings me to the last part, which is we know things about what we should do and what we shouldn't do, but knowing isn't enough. We can have all of the research presented to us about why we should do something or we shouldn't do something. And that's not enough to stop us from doing it or to get us to start doing it. We have to have a significant and profound why. And I would say for the 150 days so far that I've had, the why has been, what are the possibilities? What potentially could come from me not drinking Chardonnay or eating chocolate? And today, I'm thinking to myself, well, I've been counting all of the days. It's 150 days. Like, how much longer is this going to go on? Am I going to continue counting days? And if so, for what reason? So I've decided that I'm going to give myself some flexibility. I'm not going to today go and have a glass of wine or go and have chocolate. I'm just going to be open to the fact that if I get together with someone and summer's here, then maybe I will. And I don't know that I actually will, but I'm giving myself that power. So I feel that this challenge that I gave myself has been less than I expected in terms of getting myself into a clinical remission state for my ulcerative colitis. And I'm still processing the facts that if you have a disease, or when you have a disease for 35 years, that even though I was already living a relatively very healthy lifestyle and taking it to a new level, there still is 35 years of damage that's been going on in you. Maybe that will never on its own subside. Maybe it's going to require additional medication, and that'll be a choice that I'll have to decide if I'm going to make or not. But I think being in control of the choices that you make, instead of things happening to you, you decide what's going to happen for you. And I think that's probably the greatest lesson. The lesson that living alone and running my businesses and working out, I don't have to answer to anyone. And so doing this challenge of the 150 days, there's no one to celebrate. There's nobody here going, hey, congratulations. The only congratulations is coming from me. And I'm the one who has the power to say, okay, I did what I reached out to do. I accomplished what I wanted to do, and I learned a few things. It's not the ultimate of what I had hoped. I had hoped for a complete transformation, which if you think about it, I'm 63. In 5 months, is there going to be a complete transformation? No, there's not going to be. But what the transformation is that I set out to do something. No one told me to do it. No one kept me accountable to do it. There were a lot of obstacles during this time, and I stuck to it. And to me, that's a big win. The win is that we are empowered to take care of ourselves and to make these decisions. So if there's something out there that you are trying to process and you're thinking to yourself, I'd really like to do this, what's keeping you back most likely is that you're not passionate enough. You're not committed enough. You may have the information. You may have an idea of what your life will look like once you do this, but that doesn't mean that you will take action. And there's no judgment. So for me, I have taken action. And I see that there are some positive results, but the most important result to me is the fact that I did it, that I made a commitment for myself, that I honored the commitment, I kept myself accountable, and that I'm able to be here today and share that with you. So whatever your journey looks like, wherever it is that you're going, I want you to think, how committed to it are you? What will come up during your journey that might stop you from continuing? And when we don't evaluate this, when we don't actually say to ourselves, I expect something to derail me, we're setting ourselves up for failure, because things will always show up. That's how life is. And that's how we learn the lessons that we learn. But if you're not embracing it and saying, okay, this challenge presented itself, how can I take it and incorporate it into my life? Because it's either happening for you or it's happening to you. And if you have the mindset that something's happening to you, you're not going to learn anything from it. You're probably going to be very angry and very bitter. So embracing what you can control, and also being in charge of your own life. I know not everyone out there is in a situation where they don't have to answer to other people. There are plenty of people who are living with people, they're married, they have children, they have a boss. And I've had all those scenarios except for children. And whatever the situation is, it's about setting boundaries, and it's about respecting yourself to keep the boundaries. People love to push our boundaries. That's why we set boundaries. People push on them, and then we can push back. But if you're not committed to it, if you don't have that overall vision of what it is you're looking to incorporate or accomplish, then you probably will feel like a failure. So for me, with the 150 days of clarity, some of the things that I told myself I'd like to achieve, I actually didn't have them measured out specifically. So I said to you that I thought I'd like to lose 10 pounds. Well, it would be difficult to lose 10 pounds because I lift weights. I work out. I go to Solid Core. I go to Lifetime Fitness. I work out every day for at least 110 minutes. And so it's not like I'm constantly building muscle, and the food that I eat is very refined. So everything is structured. And I don't believe in a world where I'm looking to build muscle, I'm going to be losing weight. I think they're counterintuitive. That's just my thought. I'm not an expert in that area. So I feel like I lost the role. I lost the love handles. The clothes that I've had since the 1990s fit me again. I think that's a beautiful thing. And my blood pressure, which was it's at one point 155 over 110 on two medications, it's now perfect. It's 107 over 70, and I'm taking less medication than I was before. So that's a win. I went for the second colonoscopy. The first one was in March, and I went just, I think, 2 weeks ago. And thank God I have no cancer, no dysplasia, no polyps. I have some mild to moderate ulcerative colitis that is somewhere in, I know where it is, but not to bore you, it's in my intestines. And so that might just be part of the way my life is. I've got to continuously manage it. I would say overall, it's been a very valuable journey because it's empowered me in a way that I realize there's so many things that have happened in the last 150 days. And I've had the mental and physical strength to deal with all of them without having to turn to anything else to find peace, joy, relaxation. And I know there are people out there who drink, who smoke, who vape, who do hard drugs, who do pharmaceutical drugs. Maybe you're gambling, maybe you're shopping, maybe you're into porn, maybe you're a sex addict, all of these things. People turn to different things. What I learned was, and even caffeine, I forgot to mention caffeine, is that when you really set yourself up to win and you have a very strong why, that it's possible to achieve what it is that you set out to do. Some people might need help. They might need mentorship. They might need, let's say, in a health journey, you need a nutritionist potentially. You might need to be able to talk to someone about mentally how it's impacting you. So there are resources out there, whatever it is that you're going through. And for people who have true addictions, the process that I've done might not work for that person. They might have to go on a very different journey. So I'm not saying that what I did is for everyone. I'm just saying that I set out to do something. I accomplished it. I didn't necessarily have the outcomes that I was anticipating, but I've had a lot of other really positive outcomes that I'm very happy with. So where my journey goes from here is I'm not going to be counting every day and putting that pressure on myself. I don't have any urge to go have a glass of wine. I have no urge to go and have any chocolate, but we'll see what happens. If I'm in a social situation and I feel like it, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know, but I'm giving myself the option. So I just want to empower you to make some choices in your life that will serve you. If there's something that you're looking to do and you haven't done it as of yet, put together a plan. Anticipate that there will be ups and downs during the plan. And you may have to make sacrifices that you didn't want to make. You may be doing it alone without any support. Whatever it is that's on your journey, stay strong because it's meaningful, because you want to achieve the outcome. And maybe don't put so much focus on the outcome, but put the focus on the journey. What are you learning throughout the process? And I think for me, that's the most important takeaway, is that each part of the journey, when challenges came up and there was nothing to turn to, I haven't had caffeine in, I don't know, 15 years. I haven't had a soft drink in probably 30 years. I drink water all day long. And as I mentioned, I eat the same things. I have a protein shake twice a day, and then I have chicken, I have tomatoes, I have capers, and I have a little bit of feta cheese. And that's it. It's the same thing. Some days I may have potato chips. That's my guilty pleasure, but it's controlled. And I won't do it every day. So the point is that I'm happy with where I am. I feel that The journey has been one that I've really benefited from. And now I'm empowering myself to decide what will be the next part of the journey, and time will tell. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you are over on YouTube, please do consider subscribing to our channels, USA Global TV and Radio, and Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. We are looking to hit new milestones with YouTube with our subscribers. It really means a lot. So if you would consider subscribing to both channels, we'd really appreciate it. For any of you who are thinking about joining our team, we are always looking for TV show hosts, people who speak English as well as other languages. And we will play a clip now. But first, we want to just acknowledge each and every person out there who has been watching our programming. We salute you and we thank you, and we encourage you to keep coming back. Every great story begins with a vision. At USA Global TV and Radio, for years, we've been providing world-class education, entertainment, inspiration, imagination, connections, and hope. Most people don't stay to watch the outro or the credits, but it's the people behind every success, behind every breakthrough, and behind every unforgettable story who matter. The TV show hosts, our guests, our sponsors, our publicists, our production team, our distribution team, our search engine optimization team, and so many more. You're the ones who make the difference. Every great story belongs to the people who bring it to life. Our future looks bright at USA Global TV and Radio. And that's because of you, our loyal fan base all around the world in more than 60 countries. Together, we're making a difference because you matter. USA Global TV and Radio, live streaming to over 60 countries. Voiceover, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Video production and direction, Paul Garcia. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV and Radio on YouTube.
Hey you, psst, yes you, watching this right now. Are you creating content, a blog, a podcast, a newsletter, going live on Instagram or TikTok, and still not seeing real visibility or growth? Here's why. Anyone can post, anyone can go live, but not everyone is positioned to be taken seriously. Right now, people are going to YouTube to search for experts, for answers, for credibility. So while you're putting in the work, someone else is being seen as the authority. Not because they know more, because they're positioned better. Now imagine this. Your own professionally produced TV show, marketed, distributed, optimized with SEO so people can actually find you. Not just seen, but searchable, discoverable, positioned. You're trained, you're coached, you're guided. No experience necessary, but you do have to be coachable, because this is about stepping into a higher level. This isn't about doing more, it's about doing it right. We've already built the platform, 2 YouTube channels, a global audience, a Silver Creator Award. So the question is, how much longer are you going to rely on temporary visibility when you could be building real authority? If you're ready to be seen differently, go to usaglobaltv.com and apply to host your own show. This is for individuals who are serious about investing in their visibility, their credibility, and their growth. If that's you, we're ready. USA Global TV and Radio, where your voice becomes your platform. Executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Videographer, Paul Garcia. Voiceover, Ed Vargas. All rights reserved. This production is the exclusive property of the USA Global TV and Radio and may not be reproduced, distributed, or used without written permission.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com. a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.